As Soloveitchik points out in footnote 4 to Halachic Man, which you should have, a prevalent view of religion is that it's a simple solution to all of life's problems. For many people, the religious life is presented as if it were, to quote Soloveitchik, tranquil and neatly ordered, an enchanted stream for embittered souls, as if it could shield us from all of the real life suffering that many of us encounter. I'm going to let you into a personal secret at this point. When I had that view of religion rammed down my throat at school, together with the view that religion should remove all doubts and questions, I simply couldn't accept it, which worried me. But then, when I was 18, I read The Lonely Man of Faith. As far as I could tell, here was a rabbi telling me it was okay to have questions, to even feel conflicted at times about religion. Soloveitchik's idea that the ideology of religion with which we began is intrinsically false and deceptive, and that religious experience is in fact exceptionally complex, rigorous, and tortuous, was a revelation to me. While it certainly does not suit everyone, for people with certain religious sensibilities it makes a lot of sense. It's a difficult, maybe even pessimistic view, but it is a significant alternative to the prevalent one. From a scholarly perspective, though, it's interesting to note that this footnote is taken from Halachic Man. Now, we've seen that conflict is very much at the centre of his presentation of religion in 1965 in The Lonely Man of Faith, and it would continue to play a central role through the 1970s. But Halachic Man, written in 1944, seemed to portray a more tranquil individual for whom Judaism provided a harmonious resolution to any conflict. So how are we to understand the appearance of this footnote that tells us of the conflicted nature of religion in the very same work in which we're presented with a seemingly unconflicted halachic man? Now, you've already seen some solutions that have been suggested to these types of conundrums in Soloveitchik. So for what it's worth, here's mine. Halachic man, as we mentioned, is an ideal type. Soloveitchik is here talking about the Talmudic scholar sat in the Beit Midrash studying Talmud together with his Mishneh Torah. And the fact is that when studying in that manner, cut off from the world in your ivory tower, you're not conflicted. You may struggle sometimes to get to the answers, but when you come up with some new way of understanding a contradiction in the Rambam, say, you feel on top of the world. You've managed to restore the halacha to conceptual order, and all is well. And the figure who does that is the hero of Halachic Man. But of course that person is just an ideal. In real life, even that Talmudic scholar has to leave the Beit Midrash and go home to deal with the rest of his life. And it's there that he's the lonely man of faith. When the halachic man takes off his halachic man hat and is just another man of faith attempting both to maintain fidelity to his religion while contributing to the world around him, a world that often questions and critiques his entire religious worldview, conflicts are bound to arise within him. And that's what the footnote is about. The main text is about halachic man, who, as an ideal, abstracted away from the nitty-gritty of life outside his Beit Midrash laboratory, religious experience can be harmonious. But outside of that, as a man of faith more generally, things are not so simple. And it's that whole real person who's the focus of the footnote, and maybe of the lonely man of faith. L'chaim.